Sergei Magnitsky died in a Moscow prison after exposing massive fraud involving Russian tax officials. It says in June 2012, the House Foreign Affairs Committee passed the bill as the Magnitsky Rule of Law Accountability Act of 2012, H.R. 4405. The main intention of the law was to punish Russian officials that were thought to be responsible for the death of Magnitsky by prohibiting their entrance to the U.S. and the use of their banking system.
Pretty much freeze them out if they want to come over to America. Yeah, that's it. That's pretty much it. Which the dude was probably some pro-American guy. No, we ain't got to go into it, but that's usually what happens, all right? There's some more information in there?
Yeah, that was it.
That's pretty much it. All right, you can go back to the article.
Okay, kind of. We'll go to CNN. It says Obama signs bill warding off fiscal cliff. It says President Barack Obama has signed into law a bill to avert the fiscal cliff.
Oh, no, can you go back to the Russian one?
Okay.
The Cold War one? Yes, we pretty much wrap that up on the fiscal cliff. Just want to go into how, as this fiscal cliff catastrophe is transpiring and taking place. There's a even bigger threat, the big bad bear.
Yeah. Right. The Russians see that the U.S. debt as a weakness.
What do they call that? Carpe diem? Seize the day. That's what the Russians is doing. Yeah.
So back to RT. This so-called Jew Stephen Cohen he said, increasingly we are plunging into a new Cold War, but it's not a surprise. The story of the orphans doesn't begin with Magnitsky Bill. A number of us in the U.S. have been warning since the 1990s, nearly 20 years, that unless Washington changed its policy, its kind of winner-take-all policy after the Cold War policy towards Moscow, that we would drift toward Cold War, not toward the partnership we all hoped for 20 years ago. This is just the last stage. I wouldn't say it's inevitable, but even though the tragedy of those orphans already adopted an effect, who now will not be able to join their families in America, is foremost in our minds, especially on the Christmas Eve and the eve of the New Year.
Right. That's going back to that. That was the retaliatory bill. Some more on that?
No, it keeps going into that Magnitsky bill.
It's that bill. All right, well, that's pretty much it. All right, but let's go to that and let's go to Ezekiel. Finish that in Jeremiah 51 and then get Ezekiel 38.
Okay, come. Jeremiah 51:11. Make bright the arrows, gather the shields. The Lord hath raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes, for his device is against Babylon to destroy it.
Right, and that's why that's why there's tensions between Russia and the U.S. All right, because hey, that land which formerly belonged to the seed of Japheth, the Medes, is being occupied by who? The Russians. All right, this is talking about the modern day Russians. All right, so the Most High put it in their mind to hate America. All right, and how it physically manifests is what we just read. These Cold War policies coming back. Post Cold War policies. All right, infuriating Russia because, like it says, America has a winner-take-all mentality, meaning, yeah, we the big dogs, so we just gonna punk you. All right, and all these countries are tired of that, and Russia is sort of the vanguard in resistance to that shit, and that's why he's guarding all these other countries, which we're going to read about in Ezekiel the 38th chapter. All right, so this is a direct cut on, because you got a lot of niggas, all right, just to get on you niggas again, you come on a page and you blaspheme, and you say, oh, you guys reading the Bible, that's the white man's book. Well, why is it describing exactly what's going on right now? If this is just so false and But you know what? We could put up a map of the Medes. You know, and say, look, brother. You see, there's just a map of the Medes. You see, you show up a map, get up a map of modern Russia, break down in Babylon and everything. You still not gonna get it, man. That's why, like the brother referenced earlier, man. You niggas, you gonna die right along with these crackers here in America, man.
That's right. Yeah, Jake has a short attention span.
Mm-hmm.
It says here, for his devices against Babylon to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of the Lord, the vengeance of his temple.
Right? It's just the vengeance of the Lord, ultimately. Why? Because the Most High, he hates Esau. With the passion, he's gonna use other Edomites to destroy Esau. Through the missiles that Esau created. Which really the Most High created, alright? Tell you that in Isaiah the 54th chapter.
Yep. This is Ezekiel 38:1. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him.
Yeah, that's right, because you Russians, you're going to be destroyed too. You guys are going into slavery as well. You're just a catalyst to bringing forth America's total destruction. But parts of Russia is going to be destroyed as well, and you guys are going into slavery. Alright? Keep going.
Verse 3. And say, Thus saith the Lord power, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal.
Yeah, that's right, because you had Israelites that was ruling over there in Russia. And what happened to those Israelites? They were put in slavery and they were slaughtered by you so-called white people. Men like Hannibal and Alexander Pushkin. They're famous Russians. They're so-called black men. Alright, keep going.
It says here, verse 4, And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws.
Right, turn you back to what? That old communist way. All right, because when you look at the history, the history of it going back to the Renaissance, Russia always was doing its own thing. All right, that's just the spirit. That's just the spirit that the Most High set out there. All right, so the tensions could just build up time after time. All right, while the so-called Western Europe was into capitalism and everything, Eastern Europe was into that socialism thing. You can just check the history going back to the 1600s, 1700s, 1800s. All right, and Russia had the czars and everything like that. Wasn't on the same economic playing field as the rest of you Edomites in Western Europe, who a lot of y'all came over here. All right. And your attempt at capitalism and the Babylonian way of living, you guys just abandoned that right now. All right, pretty much. He announced that he has plans for a new Russian Federation, all right, to incorporate those former Soviet Union nations that are catching hell. All right, just keep going on that, Ezekiel.
This is Ezekiel 38 and verse 4. And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth in all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords.
Yep.
Persia,
yep.
Ethiopia, and Libya with them.
Right. And so he said Persia, which this is Iran, all right. That's well known. That's Persia's right hand man. It says Ethiopia, which the ancient land of Ethiopia includes Somalia and Eritrea as well. Right. There's a lot of so-called Muslims over there. All right. Don't be surprised if they start popping up real soon, as well as Yemen, because there's a lot of Ethiopians over there. That's a traditional spot where Ethiopians lived. All right, in Libya, right, which we saw what happened with Libya. So don't be surprised. And there's all types of turmoil over there in Libya right now. So don't be surprised if Russia's in there, being the big funder of the new government that comes in. You know. There's just all types of commotion over there since Gaddafi got taken out. All right, keep going.
Verse 6, Gomer and all his bands, the houses of Togarmah of the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee.
Yep. That's pretty much it. There's some more on that, that's pretty much it.
That's it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Keep going.
Keep going.
Yeah, actually.
Verse 7, Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company,
Yeah.
that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them.
Be thou a guard unto them. All right. So Russia's going to be guarding these nations. All right. Persia, which we see that clear as day right now. Libya and Ethiopia. All right, because you notice Russia is always involved whenever America, France, and all these other countries, you know, they're passing resolutions on these different countries. Russia's always steps in there, all right, and gives another voice. All right, why? Because that's scriptural. They're set up as a guardian to those nations. They're gonna fund those nations against American imperialism. All right, against the interests of America. All right, and yeah, with that, you know, just want to give all praises to Yahweh Shemi Al Shai. Again, double honors to our elders and honors to all you brothers out there. Shalom.
Shalom.